Hi, my name is Mary Crane, and I'm here today to talk to you about the rise of drug use and the invention of social networking sites. Now, social networking sites are a fairly new phenomenon. The teens of this generation are experiencing them for the first time. They're a fun and convenient way for friends and family to stay in touch. Unfortunately, there's a downside as well. Drugs, alcohol, school violence, pornography, all of those things are examples, and they end up on the social networking sites as well. While these exposures have become a part of the teens' experience, it's changing their perception on what is right and wrong. It has caused an increase in use of things like marijuana and alcohol. These increases seem to parallel the invention of the social networking sites and have been linked to several studies on this destructive and dangerous behavior. Social networking sites sets the stage for teens to start doing drugs through multiple exposures of friends and classmates that they see every day doing this stuff, and it becomes the norm for them. It lessens that shock value that we all talk about that makes drugs and alcohol appear wrong. It turns it into an acceptable behavior for the teen viewer. CASA, the National Center for Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University, they did a survey, and they asked in the survey teens about seeing pictures of their friends and classmates doing drugs. And it said that half of the participants said that they had seen pictures of friends or classmates involved in these activities. Even the teens that didn't participate were exposed to them at a rate of about 14%. And this made the total amount of kids exposed to be about 63%. So 63% of our teens, even at the age of 14, are being exposed to drugs and alcohol. Now, this exposure is coming, without the knowledge of adults. The unfiltered images of these sites, such as pornography, violence, bullying, and self-mutilation, they serve as a mechanism in the desensitization and change in behaviors. As a society, we label and restrict underage viewing for certain kids. Everybody sees, the T for teens and M for maturity on like video games and stuff like that. However, there's no label and there's no restriction on the internet. So there's no fail-safe for our teens in this social situation. This is what is giving rise to the drug and alcohol abuse among teens. Since the year 2008, it's been increasing at an alarming rate. It's a frightening fact since it's been in the decline for 20 years, since the early 1990s. Amongst the use of marijuana, that has seen the greatest increase, and I wanted to just show you this. Marijuana is the large one right here. So it is obviously their choice of drug. The number of teens experimenting for the first time is up 21% to 42% of teens are trying it. And 80% of those teens are using it daily. This is in the comparison to the 2008 study. Now, the study done by the Partnership at Drug Free and MetLife Foundation also found that the attitudes towards marijuana has declined. The risk, things such as losing respect of others, possible dangers, this seems less likely to teens with only the thought of the disapproval of their parents remaining the same. So they just feel like it's become okay. Teens are using these sites to find drugs and alcohols, and some of them are even using it to sell drugs. The teens are substituting words so that adults and law enforcement don't know what they're talking about. They use things like pizza to say an ounce of marijuana. So a lot of parents don't have any idea what's going on. Now, Dr. Jennifer Epstein at Cornell Medical College, she commented that social sites are not just a place where drugs and alcohol are being bought or sold by other teens, but the teens are at greater risk for peer pressure. Simple things like pictures or just an invitation to a party can cause a teen to have some anxiety about what are they going to do, because this has become such a problem and such a social norm. Parents have many things to worry about on the internet. Every parent worries about that crazy man out there that's trying to, run off with your teens or something like that. The predators, they're worried about pornography and private information. However, not even making the top 10 was underage drinking and drug use. So the parents are very, very naive when it comes to what's really being posted on their child's social networking sites. So in conclusion, it's a known fact that teens, that their social lives are very important to them, which makes it even more critical and more important for parents and educators and law enforcement to really be aware of what's going on. It's Social networks have had a greater impact than even anyone would ever know. With marijuana as the gateway drugs, the rise in teen use should terrify parents. One might conclude that the social network sites for gateway drugs, the gateway is actual social networking sites. These sites are a haven for teens to post anything they choose, including pictures of themselves using drugs, fighting, or passing out from alcohol consumption. It's an easy way for teens to move drugs and to purchase them. The constant exposure of teens friends doing drugs and drinking makes this behavior seem acceptable in today's society. Society established long ago that teens are susceptible to peer pressure, so it's not any surprise to us that social networking sites are an extension of that pressure. After all, they are their peers and their classmates that are posting the pictures. Society needs to do a better job of educating parents and law enforcement of the dangers of social networking sites. Parents would never allow a known drug user to hang out in their house unsupervised with their teen. Yet, there they are every night on the teen's newsfeed posting the fun about how they had been drinking and smoking pot. Drug and alcohol will continue to rise, and the exposure to these behaviors will continue to plague our teens, putting them at greater and greater risk with each exposure. It is ultimately up to the parents to keep their eyes and ears open for the signs of teen drug and alcohol use and to seek help immediately if any of these troubles should find their way into your home. Thanks, and here's my audience again.
Yo. We're in his house. Boy.